Now it says it. Okay.
Now it tells you that.
Yeah, it does. Yes. I never
It
heard it
didn't
said.
used to say
Yeah,
that.
I never heard that before. Never heard that before.
It well, when we went on our UVP yesterday, and it did say that. So this must be something that they put into their program
Yeah.
because of people's concerns.
Yeah.
It's been on for a while. Maybe there is an update or something that occurred because I'm on another Zoom that it always that lets us know that it's being recorded.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
because
Yeah. We
this was
probably
yesterday
never
was the
hear.
first time we'd ever heard it.
Mm.
Probably never
I
hear.
hear it all the time. But it's okay.
Oh,
So here we go. Um, welcome to another episode. Another, I ain't gonna say episode. It seems like episode is a good thing to say, but another discussion because it'd be like we having episodes.
How
No,
about another conscious conversation?
yeah,
There you go.
another conscious conversation with connecting the dots conscious community. Well, we are the beautiful people of the community, and we talk about deep, uh, moving things that normally people don't talk about. You know, and try not to go to uncensored territories. We've been censored before, and we was having fun, and
Oh,
somebody didn't like it, whatever. But today we're gonna do a year review, a collective reflection, connected to God's conscious community, a collective reflective conversation, and in that, this is a collections of our different discussions that we had with the different topics and things. And they kind of somewhat in order, you know, to tell the story, but the way they happened, uh, I can't remember what time I recorded these or made these. But in the end, it comes to a conclusion. That's what I did want to say. And that's all the part I can say. I want to say an introduction. Alicia, what's like the anything before we get started?
well, just the fact that I can't believe that it's been a year, and I feel like this, even though we were on the lockdown due to the COVID or coronavirus, I feel like this really gave us an opportunity to come together collectively and as you said, talk about things that most of us don't talk about, and just really in a safe container, to express yourself. And, like Lotus, you've done a presentation, Marilyn, you've done a presentation, Tamika, you're going to do one. It's like, collectively sharing our voices of things that are important to us or that we're passionate about. So I feel like it's beyond just the conversation here. I believe that it's just a part of each of person that's here that's integrated, which is like the fabric of what this has actually become when we started out, just as a way to stay active and like connected with like-minded people. And prayerfully, once the fall gets here, I feel like it'll at that point in time, it really be time to really kind of go a little deeper and take things, on a deeper level. And hopefully we will commune with others that will come forth as well. So I'm really proud of all of the work that has occurred and all of the conversations and connections that we've had, and just the fact that everybody that's here has been coming. So yes, Martha, you're your first time today, but everybody that's here has been coming for a time period. And so like I feel like we're building our core on this first layer in this first year. And I'm grateful. Thank you.
I'll ring to that. I'll ring to that.
every foundation starts with only one stone.
There you go.
Yes, yes,
Every foundation starts with one stone, then you add two, and then you add four, and you build a foundation that way. And that's what we have. We have that foundation.
yes,
It's
yes,
beautiful.
yes.
It's for me it's been great because even before the pandemic, I have limited ways of traveling or getting to people's places or meeting at a coffee shop or wherever. It's a challenge, and here we can do it from wherever we're at. If we're at home on the computer or got our phone and we're someplace else, in a way, it has been a blessing that we have this program that it's my understanding Zoom was around for a while,
Mhm.
and then it just became the platform for a lot of different places and people.
Mhm.
We've been able to we are, from my point of view, it's always from my point of view when I speak. Uh, I believe that we are so enlightening that we permeate the Zoom world and it goes out everywhere,
Let me go.
not just to our not just to our meeting. We are actually influencing the globe. We're influencing people who will never hear what we have to say, but they're going to feel the love, the inspiration, the support, the wisdom. Uh, Whatever we've said here goes out into, it doesn't just stay here in the
Reverberate
room or
all
the rooms or the states we're at. We're connected. We're connected. Uh, Sukadi's in another state, and I'm in a different part of Los Angeles, and we have this golden global arc that we have created spiritually, environmentally, energetically, vibrationally, and from my point of view, it's something that has helped uplift humanity.
Wow.
I want to ring
Wow.
to that one. Right? Well, I want to
Wow.
ring to that one a long time ago when we
Mm.
first started. That was a ringer. Wow. Thank you. Thank
Man,
you
wow.
for that.
Yeah, thank you for that too.
Thank you guys. You did this.
And you made it
It was
happen
from your
too.
heart and souls.
But you came, you showed up.
Okay. Let's get into the presentation. So let's set the tone. Okay, if you're laying down, continue to lay down. But if you're sitting up, kind of sit up. I want to do just a brief breathing exercise, a grounding exercise to set the tone for these, I think 5 slides. I think 5 is maybe six slides. And it's gonna be cool ride. And I feel that if we breathe for a minute and reset ourselves and go into it, it's gonna be a great journey. So if you're laying down and sitting up, close your eyes, relax, just relax. Inhale through your nose, slowly and deeply. Now, hold it. Exhale out through your mouth. Now, hold it. Inhale through your nose. Hold it. Out through your mouth. Ah. Exhale out with sound. Release. Hold it. Inhale through your nose. Hold it. Exhale through your mouth loud.
Ah.
Ah. Inhale through your nose. Exhale wherever you want, through your nose and mouth. Let your body create its natural breathing flow, wherever it feels comfortable. Repeat after me. I am love.
I am love.
I am
I
love.
am
I am
Love.
wisdom.
I am
I
wisdom.
am
I am
wisdom.
wisdom.
I am love.
I
I
am
am
love.
I
love.
am love.
I am wisdom.
I
I
am
am
wisdom.
wisdom.
I am
I
I
am
am
I am.
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 I
I am.
I am.
Relax in that. Breathe in what you just stated. Be that. Open your eyes now. And we're on our first slide.
Ooh.
Now, we can set this slide up right here. And you can see it says, how do you feel about this statement? And before we get into that, how do we feel about the statement? You can read it. Okay, Sheila. Welcome. We're going to welcome Sheila in. Read the statement.
Hey, Sheila.
Yeah, she haven't chimed in exactly yet.
Okay.
Before we go into this statement, um, in a light meditation, anyone have any insight they'd like to share, or not, or yet? I'll go first. I did have an insight, and it was great. I felt really comfortable and relaxed because I have never did that technique with you guys like that. So it gave us a real structure, I can say. Yeah, I felt that. So I really felt that. No pretending.
Hmm.
I did want to say that. Anybody else want to say anything before I go into this?
I was just saying, I'm clear now. Like I'm ready for the presentation now. Like I needed to clear. So I feel like I have a clear palette
Clear palette?
to receive.
Okay. I would like to get Aximary first. Would you like to read this first to us? Can you see it?
Me?
Yes. Hey Sheila, we see you.
How much
Sheila.
would you like me to read?
Okay, listen. Just read to it says when it stops about sorry Einstein.
Okay, I got it. One of the functions of the subconscious mind is to be a transmitter and a receiver of thought wave energy. In a physical existence outside of the neural network, thought energy travel in waves, much like a radio signal, and can be measured by physical science instruments. In the neural network, it travels along the nerve system as electricity coded information. When thought communication mind to mind is happening, it travels at a speed from 6.3 to hundreds of times the speed of light as a minute gravity wave. Sorry, Mr. Einstein.
And it
Okay.
says, sorry, Mr. Einstein. The speed depends on your energy level and the intensity of your thought. Spiritual, intelligent communication. I want to stop right there. I'll post that, stop that right here. It's a way. I want to show you something. When I discovered something reading this. Okay. Um, Delisha, would you pick this part up here? Go where she says, "Sorry, Einstein,"
Okay.
and then you leave off at "just is."
Okay. I don't know where that is, but I'll come to it.
You'll see
Okay.
it.
Yeah, right. I'll see it. Okay. It says, sorry, Mr. Einstein. The speed depends on your energy level and the intensity of the thought. Spiritual intelligent communication out of the physical existence, on the other hand, is instantaneous to any distance anywhere in all creation. Outside the physical and the mental existence, where linear time does not exist,
Hmm.
Distance does not exist either. Time is all in the present and all knowledge. Matter, distance, and life just is. The universal consciousness, quote unquote, God, are everywhere at the same time in a mind created universe. Whatever you see outside of yourself is all created and happening in your mind.
I think
Wow.
you must start reading that and really start liking it because you just went right past. It's
I
just
didn't even.
is. You went with
Oh, okay.
universal concept. So you just had to get all that out. I see.
It just is. I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to. I was just like, I
No,
would have got it, even though I
it's cool.
did.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Okay.
Now,
Oh, okay.
let's talk about that. That little one blurb there. Where do we get out of there? How could we pull some wisdom out of this? Anyone have
May I,
uh,
may I say
idea?
something?
Yes, please.
When Marilyn was speaking about the Zoom, that's exactly what she was talking about. There is no linear time. It's as it's all happening all at once. It's as if this Zoom meeting is not just happening between us, but it's happening on a larger scale, on a continuously basis. And at least that's what I got from it when Marilyn was talking about the Zoom, that there is no time and space, that it's all of it is happening right now. And based on how strong that thought is, it's almost as it's based on not what you're seeing, but how you're interpreting what you're seeing, what gives it that strength.
Good point.
At least that's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you
Yeah,
that.
that
You got a ring
yeah.
on that one. 'Cause I'm like, yeah. I agree. Anyone else want to add to what we just read? How can we pull? Okay.
I just wanted to say that the part where I kind of left off about the universal consciousness, God, are everywhere at the same time, and that's to me a great reminder that we're not separate from each other. Like, we may be doing different things, we may be in different parts of the world, and some of us may be in a blissful state and somebody may be in a miserable state, but it's all happening at the same time and we're not separate from it. So I do go back also to like what Marilyn was saying, that like in the Zoom, like even though it may just be this small container, that it has an overall effect of the wave of consciousness that's leaning towards, I will say, spiraling in a very positive manner, that in essence will affect the whole matter of creation. That's what I got from it.
The butterfly effect.
Yeah, there you go. Wow.
Yeah.
I believe that love in whatever form permeates everybody and everything. True, unadulterated love. As long as you're truly coming from that place of love, and love is not an interpretive
Like that. So,
reality. It's not an interpretive reality from my point of view. Love is love.
it's the substance that
And
that
therefore,
make reality. That's what I feel you're saying.
it,
That it's the
it,
underlower of something. It's the structure of reality comes from. Would you agree with me on that? That is that
I was saying,
love,
I
unconditional
was
love.
saying, I was saying more so is that the intention of the person communicating, and that then permeates everything.
The intention.
From my point of view, love permeates everything. So as we speak here, as our intention is to share, grow, exchange information, since it's coming from a place of love, it's going to go out and through everything, everywhere,
Okay.
throughout
I
time.
yes. I understand that. Well, I kind of think in pictures of life, and what I see is that love is like the veins, like the structure that all reality is on. So love is the source, and we arise out of love. So therefore, because we arise out of love, I think that's how sometimes we get to call certain kind of love something to our understanding. Because the
Right.
essence of true love is so deep and infinite. You know, way down there. This wow, I got taken for a loop on that one.
Mm.
Yeah.
And when I say taken for a loop, I'm talking about like a realization happened within me. You know, and it kind of leads back to some of the things that I'm studying. You know, understanding the difference between soul and the transcendental self, your born body. You know, it's kind of all in the same order because it speaks right here talking about existing out of time. You know, so right there letting you know that their existence in time and out of time and probably beyond time and however many more kinds of aspects you can break that down. You know, so
Yeah.
you just got to think big. That's my motto. You know,
Yeah.
think big. You know, do it big. Try to
If
you
if
know,
I may,
yeah.
it seems as if you're taking experience out of it then.
No.
There's uh, the reason I say you're taking experience out of it is because if love is love, and if that's all there is, love is experiential. You're experiencing how you receive love and how you've received love based on how you've uh, how you portrayed it to come to you, or why it comes to you, or the reasons it comes to you. So it seems that if we want to be in this transcendental state, the idea of experience too has to be taken away. Um, and I say this because for me, the word love doesn't mean the same thing as someone who has experienced it in a truthful manner. For me, when I hear the word love, it's more inconsistent. It's more based on I want to get something out of you. And so for me, the word love contains an experience that if I were to take away my experience, only then could I actually say, okay, without any of the experiences that I've had, then I cannot say that I've experienced this idea of love. Therefore, I cannot say that I've ever experienced love, because the people that used word love on me was to control me, was to manipulate me, was to take me out of my own sense of being. And so for me, love has a whole different meaning. Uh, what I can understand is appreciation and connection and communication. But the moment I hear love, I've come to understand that I need further explanation on it simply because of how it was given to me and how it was portrayed for me, to me, and how I saw it when it was given to me. And so when we speak of this idea of pure love, um, I don't have a relationship to it, because for me, there was never this idea of I'm giving you love for the simple fact that I'm giving you love. There was always something behind it. There was always this idea of I love you if right? I love you if. I love
Wow.
you. And so for me, yeah, I guess I can experience without the experience. I think it exists without the experience, at least for myself, I would say.
You know, Lotus, then when you're talking so much on a deeper level, then we got to start breaking down that we got to break down these in some categories. You know that you got to understand the intellectual part of love, the intuitional part of love, and the experience, and then the experiential. You're a part of love. These are different ways that you can learn to love. Yeah, those would be three different ways you can learn to love. And then after you learn these, then you have to identify with it. It's like a puzzle.
Well, I just want to say one thing before you go on the next slide, unless someone else has something they want to share. But even at the very beginning of this, when it talks about the functions of the subconscious mind, is to be a transmitter and receiver of thought waves. And just in that alone, like based on and I know we've talked about perceptions of reality numerous times in these conversations, or we could say, like Lotus is saying, based on experience. Like you may say something to me and myself, and then the feeling that I get in my self-conscious is, oh, I know what that is. You know, it may not necessarily be positive, or then it could be. And then once I receive that thought wave or that thought form, that feeling, that look, that word, then once I transmit my response, it may not necessarily come in the highest vibration because of my perception of reality or my experience. And based on that, like as he goes on to talk about the energy of the person will determine the magnification of how it's going to travel. Like if I'm like, oh no, I'm going to cry now, you know, then now I'm in like a lower frequency. And then I could be excited and it'll be a higher frequency. And then I could be angry and it still could be in a higher frequency. So it's really interesting how we're totally giving and receiving almost 24/7, probably even when we're asleep. We're still transmitting and receiving a feeling or a perception or a thought about something. And so my thought that just comes from all of this and the fact that we're all contained in this one container, at least considering the one or the all, is really retraining the mind in a way that is conducive to experiencing that transcendental state of beingness. And that takes a practice. I'm not going to say I've gotten there, but I know that I'm in a different place than I was even 6 months ago. And it's just an ongoing, I want to say, song and dance, you know, an experience of really trying to be completely balanced and not disrupted by other people's shit. So I'll leave it there.
Right,
I agree.
I'm reading the bell on that because you can say other people's shit and your shit.
And then right, and then like Lotus was saying, her experience with love, you know, there was always these conditions behind it. It wasn't just because I love you, like, oh, you know, there was always a if or when you type of thing. And we could say that dealing with people, like, oh, if you act right, you'll be invited into this group, you know, or if you repeat this mantra with us, and then you're part of the clan, you know. But the moment you start saying, well, wait, that doesn't resonate with me, I want to say kumbaya. No, that's not what I told you to say. And see, and then now we got a whole nother transmission going on in the subconscious mind. Why are you shooting down what I'm trying to share just because you're supposed to be the one? You know what I'm saying? So this all this static. But my question is in this, honestly, and I'm getting really passionate about this because this is a very real thing. How do we not necessarily agree with something, but continue on, not to like dumb down your feelings, but try to remain neutral or transcend that feeling to continue on with yours so that your vibration doesn't slip under.
It's a lot of work.
That's for you, Ray.
It's a lot of work.
Hey, that's why I jump right on there. You know, that's a lot of work for that. You know, and I know that we all can agree that once we set our mind to something and we want to get it done, we'll get it done. Because that's what you're speaking about, Delisa, is that when you find out an aspect of you, you know, is it okay? Like when we were saying a little, like saying the little meditation, we said, I am. You know, when you find that I in you, you know, where's the I in you with that? You know, that I, and then your mother, your father, your love. But the I am is you, you know, and it's just very uh it's kind of like funny, really. It's kind of like funny that you know that enlightenment comes and it'd be like, well, I always knew that. Well, you was always enlightened. You just didn't see it through this type of mindset, through this type of lens or goggle, or in that way, you know, because it's really simple what you want to do in life. You know, based on science, they say that humans can do almost any damn thing and stuff. You just got to find a technique and find out how to do it. You
I
know.
got you. I got you. It's a plight. It's a journey. And I know I'll say we're on it in some shape or form in our lives. I could, I'm just saying I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think we're all in a place of wanting to be better and wanting to really maintain a state of peace, you know, um, beyond just getting through or surviving.
Hmm.
And if I may, I feel it's as if one of the works that needs, I don't want to say need, but that could be done, is the nervous system. I think our nervous system holds all of that information. And I think that once, at least for myself, I realize that I have to be able to reprogram my nervous system in order to actually get the information that hasn't been, I don't know, misinterpreted by my own idea of self. And so I feel like because it's so embedded in my own nervous system, that regardless of how much I consciously understand what the word says, on a neurological level, the nervous system has taken in the other so much of like more of a habitual pattern. So I feel like you have to go deep into the tissue, into the nervous system, and get it out, move it upwards, right? And I mean, this is partially the work where we sit here and we have these conversations where we do actually trigger our nervous system. And in doing so, we are allowing it to bring itself out of our system in order for us to have a different interpretation of what we're saying. But yet, if we are receiving it with the idea of fight or fear, then automatically we're no longer receiving it from the idea of love, because now automatically our nervous system is now, wait a second, you said something which has taken away my safety. And that's the only thing from there on that can be heard until I begin to regulate myself to where it's almost like a self-talk to the nervous system, to where no, like you're not experiencing that anymore, you're experiencing something else. And I feel like that's the deep work, which the deep work is, yes, we can like subconsciously, I've done the work, but the memory is so deeply embedded in the tissue and in the fascia of the nervous system that that's another layer where everything else is also stored in, and it's also if it's not released, it becomes like layers of onions, right? And then eventually you numb yourself from all of that, and that's where I'm at.
Well, and I'll just say this, just to kind of like tell you that I actually know someone that helps you get those type of feelings and memories out of your cellular memory. And so I can talk to you more offline about it if you're interested. And because what you're saying is a real thing based on my understanding of the modality that the sister uses. And she's come in on a couple of our calls before, but she hasn't been on recently. And so I'll tell you a little bit more offline. I just wanted to say that before Ray goes
Thank
on, because
you.
I understand what you're saying based on what she just shared with me recently. So that's all I want to say.
No,
I
thank
wanted
you.
to clarify something about what I was communicating about love. Um, for me personally, I felt unadulterated, no thought processes, just feelings when I held my grandson in my arms for the first time. There was no thinking about it. I held him, and well, the thought came. This is the thought that actually came. I said, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble," because I felt so much love at that moment. I knew that whatever that kid wanted, he was going to get.
Yeah.
And we're super, super close. He's my twinsy.
Oh,
Um,
that's so
and
sweet.
I can tell you in my entire life, I had never felt that much love
Mhm.
between me and anybody. Um, I didn't birth my daughter, uh, so I don't know what that feeling is like. However, when I held my grandson in my arms, there was a shift in my beingness. I changed at that moment, and I've been changed ever since then.
I just had to do that.
I know I have godchildren. I've also felt an incredible love when I held them. That there's no communication between you or the child in you and you. There is just pure, unadulterated, soulful love.
Mhm.
I explained it that because he had just embodied into this little creature from the pure essence of reality, I was feeling the love from the the dimensions became one, and there was no separation. It
Mhm.
was encompassing everything. The molecules in the hospital, the floor, the ceiling, the air. He was in ICU because he was born premature and had a really hard time. Um, and every smell was more so for me. My senses became acute being in his presence. And to this day, we still have a really wonderful, fabulous relationship. And that was the first time in my life, other than when I was a baby myself, which I don't remember, when my mother or gave me love when she first held me. So that was my first recall as an adult, as someone beyond the infancy, to feel that love.
That
And
type of-
I feel some
Okay, you
No,
start,
it went
you start,
still.
you freezing out.
That's a nice shot, though.
She froze.
Yeah, it was a beautiful freeze, though, right?
Hey,
Are you there?
okay. I'm gonna go to the next
Okay.
slide.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Anybody else want to talk about this? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it.
You say the word love, I think of spiritually the 4 different methods of love, but right now, I guess the one that I retain the most is eros and agape.
And agape.
Mhm.
And one is more sensual, and the other one is definitely more visceral or from the feelings you get about something. But I wish I could remember the other two. I mean, the other
Storage.
four.
The storage is one of them. That's the love that Marilyn was talking about. It's called
No,
storage.
no. Basically, I'm speaking of the names that I know of spiritually.
Oh,
And
Okay.
I know what stick with me the most are eros, which is the physical, and agape, which is the more spiritual, or among the brotherhood or the sisterns.
Mhm.
And then there are two others, and they represent different experiences, but that's speaking from a spiritual perspective. But eros is more erotic, and agape, I think, is that grander kind of love that you get from the basic nature of things that's within you. And so until I can remember those other two, I can only think of eros and agape.
we can use
They're
those.
different kinds of love, but they're still love.
We can look that up.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And all I was saying was that the storage love that Marilyn was talking about was the love between a parent and a child, you know, that love that she was expressing. So I wasn't necessarily discounting what you learned. I was just adding to,
No, I wasn't
you
saying
know,
you
since you
were,
was,
but I was speaking, I was
I
just trying to
know,
be clear on what I was saying.
yeah, no, I know, I hear you. I was just trying to, because when she was expressing, I was going to actually say that after she had finished talking, but she froze. So I was just adding it into the mix and she went into the love lane.
What are the four states of love?
That's the question that we were trying to figure out. We know two of them, eros and agape.
Self-love.
Yeah,
No, it's a spiritual name,
there's
but it's
spiritual term.
it's probably self-love.
So I would, and I would say that without that one, you can't possibly understand it. There is no understanding it without that one first.
But it's more than one.
Yeah, of
Definitely.
course.
It gets
Of
beyond
course.
you. It gets beyond you.
So
Okay.
we're gonna go to our next one.
Mhm.
Okay, and it was a perfect time to segue. Because we're speaking about the self, the I, the who, the me, the you. It says self-awareness is key. Being aware and having more experiences will expand the mind and lead to illumination. The long-term process of spiritual growth that will advance you into a higher and deeper state of consciousness and vibration. What do you think? What's your take on that? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? I can speak on that firsthand. You know, I'm gonna share a little bit of my. Only way I can, the best way I can speak about is share some of my story about self-awareness. You know, and it goes back, I think like 8 years ago, when I was still battling cocaine addiction. You know, and self-awareness came when I kind of like took the reins of my soul and really continue doing what I was doing, you know, but deep down and knowing that this too shall pass, it finally it passed. And my key is a simple little process that got me, that woke my eye up in me and my heart open, was looking in the mirror, telling myself I love myself, I'm divine, I'm fearless, all the best objectives that I can put myself in. And while I was doing that, envisioning what that would look like, you know, and I was aware that, you know, what I'm doing, does affect the reality and the outcome, but there is outside forces uh, that do come your way. Just have a good, have a good protective field, so to say, or just understand that your aura is protecting that, and surround yourself with light constantly. These are just some of the things that I did, my mentally did, but I never did before, right? That's the thing. Um, it was something that I never did before, something I never thought of. I never would have thought that I'll be sitting here talking about spiritual stuff like that in my own mindset. So you never know. Hello? Yes. Yes.
I was gonna say to ring the bell for you.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ring for
That
you.
that that was my
That's
one.
major.
You know, I really have just, tried to expand my consciousness through uh, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and being a scientist. Really, that's the whole thing. It started as that I'm going to do it myself, and then I got into spirituality, and I seen that it was a self-doing thing. So it's kind of like food, and I achieved certain things, and everyone is there. It's not like no one's not there. It's that they haven't woken up to that aspect of it, about awareness. So we are very much aware, and then we're not aware, and then we probably beyond awareness. We probably transcend. Who knows? It just goes on and on. That's what I can say.
Well, I just want to say that just based on your I am breath meditation, I can say I am the key.
There you go.
I am the key. I am the key. And, you know, and I want to say a lot of times I think what may have happened, just say in our families, in our culture, just society as a whole, that you people try to strip you of being aware of yourself and not to think for yourself, not to believe in yourself, that you need something outside of you in order to actually be all that you know that you are inside yourself. And I also feel that, in self awareness, once we recognize the power that we have to really become any and anything we choose, I think it's just a matter of no. I want to say believing because I know that's not a word because of be lie, like you said, be lie. But I think it's still a level of having to believe in yourself and believe that the body can heal itself. The body has its own intelligence designed inside that knows exactly what to do if we just listen. And so, just realizing that the self already has the ego and all these different factors that, make us want to protect ourselves, that shows up, oh, don't do that, or oh, you heard what this person said. So that protection layer is there. It's divine essence to want to heal and kind of navigate you in a direction it wants to go. If we would just listen, and then there's the inner voice, okay, that guides and leads us, that comes through. And then if you think of the sacral chakra area where all creation is born, whether you're male or female, it's all self-contained in the one because we're God. And I feel that, I'm not going to say I'm the all-knowing, all-seeing, but I know and
Yeah,
I
on
see
that one. That's a good one.
everything that's within in myself, yourself, herself, and trusting yourself. And if you don't ever make mistakes, how do you have an opportunity to grow and share your experience? Then it becomes that thing where you become robotic, where you don't have any feelings or awareness about feelings when you don't have, you kind of overriding the water. And we're all the elements. We're earth, we're air, we're fire, we're air, we're spirit. So know that there's nothing that you cannot learn, understand, or be guided to, because the answer is within self awareness. I am the key to my awareness of self. That's it.
I am the key. I am
Okay,
the
so
key.
agape is self-love,
Mhm.
Oh,
Is it?
agape is self-love.
self-giving love.
Oh,
Agape.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Eros expresses the sexual.
okay.
And so far, I've only come up with philia. which is the most common word, which is something that's expressed like hospitality.
Philia.
And I know there's one more, but so far this is what I got.
Okay, I have a
That's
couple more.
great.
If I if
Yeah.
I could say something about agape, I think it's that self-awareness. I think
It's self-giving love
self-giving.
that is not merited.
Selfless.
So
You don't have to
Selfless.
deserve it. It's something that you have.
that's already there.
You
Yeah,
have
It's selfless. It's a selfless love. And
self-giving.
right, self-giving, selfless. And then what you're talking about, Lotus, with self-love, you're talking about philia tuia. I may be saying it wrong, but it's PHILAUTIA, which is self-love.
This one
Okay.
says that's affection for friends, philia, PHILIA, but you know, it depends on what you're reading.
I
Right.
can actually
I'm reading this, so
relate
the dictionary.
to the agape one,
Yeah,
self-giving.
agape is
Because
that self-giving love that's
yeah.
not merited.
Because I feel like the moment I gave myself the ability to have the choice,
There you go.
that's when I was able to break through a lot of it. It's just almost I've always grew up without having a choice. I never really truly had a choice externally, and therefore internally, that was the interpretation, no choice. And yet, when you talked about Ray, your addiction, it's almost for myself, not that it's any similar, but to be able to have the choice not to have to smoke a cigarette. I think that is that's what did it for me, is to be able to say it's not about quitting. It's not about not having it in my presence. It's not about not having it around me. It's more about giving myself that choice to say, oh, I have it right here, but right now that's not what I want to do.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a
And
barrel
so-
right there, Lotus.
And so, and that is where I think within that you have this idea of the self-love, because now you're giving yourself that choice of not having to do something that you're used to doing. And so for me, that was my breakthrough, when I was able to say, oh, wait, you can have it around, you can have it right in front of you. But the thing is, are you going to give yourself that choice? Are you going to love yourself enough to give yourself that choice to say no to it, even if it's right in front of you? And that was my break. That was my I guess that was the that was the part for me that really helped me to say, my entire life as a child, that idea of choice was taken away. I never understood it. I never really comprehended it. There was never a choice in my life. It was either you do this or you don't. And if you don't do this, you're not going to get love. And now it's almost as if I'm giving myself that choice, I am giving myself that love. I am giving myself that respect. I am giving myself, just by giving myself that choice to have something that would be considered to be a habit or an addiction, right? And having it in front of me and saying, oh, you know what, right now, I'm going to give myself that choice to not have to do that right now, because that's not what I'm feeling. I'm not feeling that at this moment.
Yes.
Right.
No, I got to ring a bell on that, Lotus, because I have tried that. I tried that. I have done that. It was way before I even moved. Before I even moved, it was way then. I thought of that, what you said, just by, I'm a hold it, and it was basically started off as a timing mechanism,
Mhm.
and but I back then I seen the real depth of that,
Yes.
But I didn't. I kind of stopped that concept, I guess, because I wasn't really ready to stop. But I do understand what you're saying by having it there, you know, and say, well, I see you there. I now that I see you, I do have you, but I'm not going to take part in it. Just by being there. That's beautiful. I can dig that.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to talk about self awareness? What kind of key did they get out of it? Anybody? Sheila, I ain't heard from you in a long time. Where have you been? How you been? We've been missing you.
Hi, how are y'all doing?
Good. Hey, Sheila.
Great, I have missed y'all.
It's you.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
we
just come
just
up here to basically listening tonight and learning.
we
Very deep
welcoming
subject.
we're welcoming David. David Kim, he's a friend of mine. So
Hey, Brother Dave. Welcome, Brother
Hi, Brother
Dave.
Dave.
Greetings.
Welcome.
okay.
Hi. I anybody that knows me knows that I've got a few decades in recovery. And that was a choice I made out of incredible pain and despair. I had been raised in an environment where alcohol and drugs and abuse were normal. So I didn't, in this world, in this life, I didn't understand that I could make the choice of not drinking or using or being in abusive relationships.
Yes.
The longer I chose not to participate in the addiction, the clearer I got and have continued to get clearer. I think that every day that I wake up, that I'm not drinking, using, or in an abusive relationship or a crazy environment, I am releasing myself from the tentacles that I felt were on my body and keeping me imprisoned. And I was really the person keeping me imprisoned. And I decided that I no longer wanted to be a prisoner.
I had to ring that one there when you said
Mhm.
what you say. When
Yeah, I no
thought
longer
I was
wanted
the
to
prisoner,
be,
that you
I
was your
was the
own prison
prisoner.
guard.
I was my prison guard. I was my prisoner. I was the package.
Yeah.
And when I let go of self-sabotage, self-loathing, selfishness,
Mhm.
Look at she froze again.
It always
I
froze
was-
on her.
I was still selfish. And am I still frozen?
You unfroze. We hear
Okay.
you. We hear you.
So eventually I learned 3D tools to free myself. And inevitably, what I was able to do with my experience is help other people to free themselves. So I don't, from my point of view, I don't think it was horrible. It's in the past, it's gone. However, I've spent decades helping other people free themselves. And so in a way it was a gift. They were gifts. What I experienced, what I went through has been a gift for me.
I see.
Yes.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Yes.
So if Dave, if you want to chime in, you can read this.
Yeah, sorry I'm late, everybody. What was
Yeah.
it? What was the topic?
Well, we just read the statement and gave it a brief. What do you get out of it? You know, what do you think about the words that's before you?
Oh, in terms of like
Self-awareness.
self-awareness
Self,
is key.
yeah. Self-awareness.
Yeah. I think awareness is such a strange thing, you know. It's uh because you know when you look at suffering, you're like you have to kind of gauge like is this how is this harming me? How is this whatever I'm aware of, not even in terms of like behavioral or like, you know, positive actions or negative actions, you know, just in terms of awareness. So I think self-awareness is key, but just being able to observe without being moved too much, you know, has really helped me a lot, you know. And I'm a drummer, obviously, right? You know that. So drumming has helped me become aware of not only what's happening within myself, but what's happening in my larger environment. Um, and being able to observe that like in a very centered, stable manner with like multiple, I call them like polyrhythms, but it's just helped me in terms of awareness, just being aware of like what's happening externally and internally.
I gotta give Dave some love on that one because I don't know if everybody, because I understand what he was talking about. He has stated, he said, yeah, he get understanding of the awareness of himself and how it projects out in the universe, and he can, and he have a sense of awareness with the polyrhythms in the circle that's going on. And what he's saying is that there are times when we be out there playing, is that we're working on some new skits, some new tunes and whatever, and we're trying to get it to lock in. And with South African drumming, when things lock in, things happen. You know, time just stops, and well, to me, David, you can share your. What happened to me is that if things slow down, and you hear what you're doing, and know that you're supposed to be doing this, so the next person can do that, and that person is doing that for that person to do that, and he's holding down everything, and you got to be right in there. You know, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful
Yeah, I
thing.
mean, it's basically interdependence in motion. I mean,
Yes.
it's kind of an abstract concept saying like everything is interconnected and everything like that. But in rhythm, it gets like really explicit. You know,
Oh,
it's like
excuse me, man. Go ahead. No, man. You brought. I never would have thought about explaining something in the way that you just said, because it all this when we're talking about spirituality, it happens out there in drum circle. That's what I want. That's what I want to say. So sorry,
that's right.
I'm keeping my mouth
That's
shut.
definitely a dimension of it for sure. Yeah.
Yes, I'm keeping my mouth shut. Anything else you want to share? My bad. Shut up.
Oh, I just feel so blessed and grateful. You know, blessed and grateful.
Indeed. Anybody else want to before we go to the next one? Okay. Well, moving on. Okay. Can I get a volunteer to read the first square of self-care?
Okay, I'll read it. Okay, taking care of your mind and thoughts. Taking care of your physical health and body. Self-care. Now this is where I can bump it up. Increasing your own well-being through self-care behaviors. Okay, and taking care of your spiritual health, taking care of your emotions. These are aspects of self-care. Taking care of your mind and your thoughts, taking care of your physical body and your health, and increasing your well-being and self-care behaviors, taking care of your emotions and your spiritual health. It's all in tangent. One's not separate from the other.
Hey, I want to use this time to use an analogy that Dave just reminded me of, is like this. You see this square? Now, this square is a circle, right? Now, the object of the circle is self-care, right? But self-care got many parts. One part of it is taking care of your mind. And it's vibrating and it's making that certain rhythm, right? Then the other one, taking care of your physical body. That's another rhythm. And it goes on so forth. And when all these rhythms come together and lock in, it manifests self-care.
Yeah.
Drum circle analogy of self-care. I have to put that in there. I'll read the second one in the middle. Self-care action plan. Now, this is where the feet hit the pedal, the foot hit the gas. Is where I don't want to say this. You get up off your ass, but it rhymes so good. It's hard to say that. But self-care is a plan of action. You know, it's what are you doing? What are you doing? It all means down to every day, every morning. What are you doing to keep yourself in a high vibration, healthy mindset? Although I'm gonna say it sounds kind of easy, but it is difficult. It is difficult. It is a challenge, but it can be done with a little practice. Then you get the hang of understanding how to separate yourself from certain aspects of yourself. You get that point. You get that. So self-care, the plan of action. What are you doing? And then the wheel horoscope says you got the sleep, you got hydration, then you got your nutrition, then you got your exercise. Those are great in the aspect of that right there. Then what's another aspect? What are you doing for self-care on your spiritual side? For your soul, for your heart, for your higher self. Those need to be looked at as well. So that's the question to everybody. Self-care. What are one of the techniques that you do for self-care? Everybody give me an example. What do you do for self-care? Anybody?
Okay, I'm gonna jump out with a quick phrase. Yep. I try to get as much understanding as I can.
Mm.
Always good to have understanding. Okay, we're gonna put understanding.
Overstanding.
Yeah, right. Overstanding.
Anybody else?
I just want to say, to me, and where I'm at today, is it gets to a point where what are you really devoting yourself to? And I just feel like self-care should be a devotional of your life that you're devoting to your self-care, because you've been given this temple, this shrine, this physical body. If you don't care for it properly and take care, then then you're not going to be well, and then you're not going to be living your highest, or I want to say desired for many, not for all, because I don't want to project and think that everybody wants to be well, because some people don't want to be. So I just leave it as that last little thing on there. It says like the most important relationship that you'll have is the one that you'll have with yourself. And so where I'm at now in my personal journey today, right now, is what am I devoting myself to, in essence, so that I can be in a healthy, wealthy state of mind, physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. And I feel like there should be nothing, unless I have a little one in my life, that should supersede me caring for myself properly, and not getting mad when someone else doesn't give us the care that we feel that they should give us when we don't give it to ourselves.
Oh, that's a deep one.
Next.
Is it true? Anyone else got one? What do you do for self-care? I like everyone to participate in this because I'm throwing up something.
I literally, when I go to sleep at night, higher self my my future self, my guardians, the essence of the universe, and I ask for what I want to experience. So if I feel that there's an aspect of my life that is lacking and not as powerful as I would like it to be, I ask for guidance, because from my point of view, even though I'm one with the universe, I also understand for me is that I am limited to my understanding of reality, and there is that which is connected to me that is totally unlimited, omnipotent. So I literally every night, that's how I go to sleep. I say my prayers, I pray for others, and I ask for the guidance.
Beautiful, beautiful. I like that one. Go within, ask.
Understanding.
Come on, anybody else? Anybody shoot a technique out. Shoot us a technique. Share with the group. Share with the group a technique.
I would say for myself, it really just comes down to giving myself that choice and then taking responsibility for it. I think that in itself, being accountable for what choice it is that I'm making for myself. Perhaps because that was something that was never really truly given to me, or I never experienced an environment that had that. To be able to wake up in the morning and make that, have the how can I have the awareness that I can choose. I can choose how it is I'm going to feel that morning, and to take accountability how it is that I'm going to go about. If I choose a specific feeling or a specific thought for that morning, at the end of the night, when I, when I tally up, so to speak, am I going to take accountability for the choice that I made that morning? So for me, I think right now, in my own environment, being able to have as many choices as I possibly can is what for me is self-care, because this gives me the ability to expand and to be inclusive in whatever it is that I wish to participate in. And with that comes the accountability, being accountable. And when you become accountable for yourself, you're including safety into that. You're including your own ability to say, this is a choice that I make. And so therefore, in making this choice, it's bringing about these results. And you learn how to have a relationship with yourself based on respecting the choice that you're making, and being truthful with yourself about the choice of why you're making those choices, taking accountability for that, knowing that within that choice that you're making, you have also are you going to be safe or not when you make this choice? And from that, you also get, I would say, understanding, right? Understanding, overstanding. And so when you have those functioning, for myself, having all of those, having that choice first thing in the morning is, for me, is self-care. At that point, I am caring for myself because I'm able to make that choice. And that choice can easily be taken away. It's not promised to me. And so I would say that for me would be a self-caring attribute that I use.
Thank you. That is that's a good one. All of them good. Anybody else have any? So what's the technique? Let's put it in the pot and let's stir it up and see what we can get.
I have a technique, but it's more like an intention I hold. This intention. My intention is always may everyone, be well, be happy, be safe, be free of anger and ill will. And I always try to have that. And that just kind of always checks me and puts the brakes and limits if I feel like my mind is moving in a direction where I'm just spinning my wheels in very predictable manner. So I just sort of like reset and just hold that intention. And that kind of just centers me. And that's a technique that's worked for me. And somehow it actually ends up on me too.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, we got. I know we got a couple more people out there. I like to get a bit of advice from everyone tonight.
Where's that Shamika?
As you said, especially Shamika.
Where's that Tamika?
Oh, I'm raising my hand.
Come
I'm
on,
raising
Tamika.
my hand and
Yay.
Oh, you was raising your hand?
yeah, I'm like,
Oh no,
I guess you
I
could
said
call
I'm
me.
sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't see you guys. I have just one camera and it's whoever's talking, that's who I'm seeing. So you can see the whole slide. So I
Oh,
can't see you guys right now. I can open it to see you guys, but they're gonna take up the screen. So I just got one screen. Whoever be talking, that's what I'm looking at. So that's why I was saying y'all can just chime in and then we can go in.
oh, I
So
get it.
come on in. What give us a technique.
Well,
On self-care.
one thing for sure, and my kids, they have this TV so loud. If you hear this background noise, that's why I had it on mute. And I didn't want to, like, my noise to overrun this, but
Yeah.
one thing I know is if there's something that I'm not complete with, like if there's something that I really wanted to do or something that I wanted and like we were in a society that speaks to our limitations, but there's something in my intuition that says to keep going no matter how much the odds may be stacked against me, or maybe no matter what obstacles. If there's something that I'm really feeling the inclination to go towards, to give myself the okay and to align with it, because eventually the right people will appear and the support system and any and everything that I need will appear to help me take that path that I want to get complete on. Because I know it's a path, if I don't get it complete, if I don't pursue it or do anything about it, even though there's a lot of obstacles, but there's always in the back of my mind, there was a possibility, there was a door open, and if I don't go through it, it'll stay on the back of my mind for the rest of my life.
Okay.
And so I have to give myself that permission to go for it no matter what the stakes.
Okay. Thank you. I like that one. I like that one there. This one here really kind of, I like that one because back in the days when I was like, I was a teenager, there was this video game that I used to always play called Crazy Climber. It was about this guy climbing on the side of a building, and that was his word. You be climbing, then you would stop, then the word would say, "Go for it." So I dig that. Intuition, God, and go for it. Going for it.
Like aligning with your intuition and your gut instinct.
Yes. Next. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll go next.
What you got? What you got?
With me, I'm a very highly emotional person anyway, and I'm surrounded by emotional people daily. So I have to do like this brain dump every night before I go to sleep. Uh, just getting all the noise out from around me and writing out my thoughts for the day and my feelings and what I could have done differently and whatever. And I just have to make sure that I clear my head before I go to sleep because if I don't, I won't get a restful night's sleep. And my dreams, they won't be in existence at all. It's just like I won't dream or anything. But if I clear my head of the daily action or whatever and take care of my emotions before I go to sleep, then I have a very restful sleep. Because I have like a noisy mind, put it that way.
Hmm.
My mind races sometimes. So I have to kind of get control of that before I go to sleep. And I've started meditating a lot more here lately.
Hmm.
So that helps a lot. And my little sleep music with the rain background, I do that a lot. That is so relaxing and it makes me have a great night's sleep. So
That's that's beautiful. That's
yeah, I
beautiful.
just
If you
have to
get a
take care
good
of my
night's
emotions.
okay.
Great night's sleep takes care of a lot of things, I tell you.
Mhm.
It does. It does. Anybody else? But who else do we have? Did everybody go? Martha, I'm calling you out. You're being quiet all day.
Yeah,
What you gotta say?
yeah.
I had no idea this was a spiritual group. I know nothing of spirituality. So I'm kind of learning.
Okay. You had no idea. I love your genuine, heartfelt statement. You said spiritual community. I like to consider ourselves a spiritual community, but more of a you know real life community. And we just pay attention to the things that we do in life and try to pick up the wisdom out of it. And if that would, yeah, see the wisdom out of it. Wow. So yeah, your statement just gave me a way of defining a definition of spirituality. Just defining, being aware of your life and learning them life lessons and using them to better your life. Thanks for that statement. Thanks for that, for your energy. It just made me think of that. But you're not off the hook yet. I need to know. Tell me something that you do for yourself to keep yourself in check. That's that's self care.
Um, I write everything down and I look at the pros and the cons and I balance it. And if there's more pros than cons, then I go with the pros. So that's what I do when I'm in the middle of something where my mind's stuck and I don't know what to do. In terms of sleep, I don't have a problem with any of the other stuff. Um,
Notes.
yeah.
I like that one. I like that one. Notes. So it's like, okay, notes. I'm trying to figure out a way because what I'm doing, I wasn't trying to tell y'all what I was doing until I do it. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I was just taking everybody's idea and put them all together and basically read them all out to us and say that this is what we are right now. Because from the beginning of this meeting, we set the tone by clearing our minds and opening up our hearts and minds. Some of us wasn't here in the beginning, but the core of us was here. So we anchored in a feel, a resonance of that love that we're talking about, uh, the understanding, the devotion, the choices, the intention and intuition that we all need right now in our life to ease off whatever ailments or problems that we're facing. So, my intention is, though, may we get resolution, resolveness. Uh, yeah, that's what my heart and mind is on tonight. You know, and why I say that is because of you, Martha. You are you're a guest here and a very dear friend of mine. Um, some of you guys know Sal, the bamboo, the combo priest that I have done many combo sessions with. Um, Came to me and asked and told me about you. Martha said that you were trying to find your brother, right?
Correct.
Your brother in LA. And I felt so honored that Sal asked me off the top. That just blew my mind. Oh yeah, man, you asking me? Yeah, and it's for a worthy cause, because it reminded me of when my mother and my sister used to come looking for me when I was out in Skid Row. And if any kind of way I can repay that, I kind of feel that it's a cycle being completed, and hopefully that when me and you do get together, we will find it, or we'll have some kind of resolve. Not to go so far off our main topic where it's going. It's just that this was a big part of it. And thank you for notes and protocol. Notes and protocol.
I love it. I'm gonna start doing that more often so I'll stop making bad decisions.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
was that everybody? Uh,
Yeah.
Sheila, she went. Who didn't go? That's it. Okay, that's okay. That's everybody. That's everybody. So listen, this is what we got. You know, the thing of it is, you see, I am at the bottom. Everybody can agree with me. You see, I am. Yeah,
I am that I am.
I am. All
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
So let's just say this. All right. Right now, we're just speaking, just talking, and not being spiritual, not being religious, just being. I'm gonna set the tone, right? Say I'm gonna do this, right? So that's what we're doing. So, or I am the I and the am. Let's talk about that for a minute. And please, anybody got any other anybody want to come in and throw something in the pot? Throw it on in. As we go through this. So I just wanted to talk about and also I think Marilyn brought the topic up earlier when she said about the baby. She's holding a baby and she had the certain experience of the unconditional love that the baby brings. And we all know babies bring so much love. They tap into the core of our to everything. They coming in like you said, uh, uh, um, uh, uh, Maryland. They
Yeah.
coming in right from the baby just getting in from the all everything. So the residue is just coming off real hard, hot, feeling.
You can't get much more relaxed than a baby.
Say it again.
I say you can't get much more relaxed than a baby.
No, you can't. That's the thing. So the I am, and then also Merlin said it kind of changed or morphed her beingness. Now, I just want to say beingness is a cosmic principle. That's a cosmic principle because I would say beingness is when you understand, and when you do a meditation or when you close your eyes and you go to sleep, where is your beingness? And then where's your I? Where are you? You tend to ask a lot of these questions, and some people they ponder it. I'm a kind of person I like to ponder these things. I think most of us in this group, besides Martha, she's new. that we kind of like ponder these things and come to some kind of resolve that eases us, that really prepares us. It eases and prepares us because what it does in the ease is the breakthrough to the next level, and that prepare you is you going back through that next level that you broke through. The ease come is the breakthrough. Ease, you made it, you got your breakthrough. Then your elevation again is through that level. So it's constantly going like that. So the I, where do your I at? Where your I is at? I would say I is a cosmic representation of the one creator thing or whatever, how you want to term that. Or if you're atheist, it's the one thought that you may have. However, it could be summed up in any kind of way. So where's the I and the am? And then the last part is when you attaching a verb to that or adjective to that, it describes you. It describes what you are, right? So what you are describing that you are, which came first? The I am aspect of you or what you say that you are? I would say the I am of you came first. So before you was a mother, a sister, it was an I am. And one of our teachers, me and Tamika's teachers, says that our I am, our consciousness, is the same consciousness that the universe was birthed from, that existence, that consciousness. Because if you understand the story of, you would say, the Big Bang Theory, how everything just exploded and then the atoms came together, making cells, and the cells came together, making complex organisms, and they kept going on and on to the human was formed. That consciousness that constructed all that is your I am. So you're basically transcending of your body and your soul, and then you're part of that unity of everything. So in all that, what I'm just saying is I am. Just remember when you say that I am, what you're gonna put behind that. That you are I am before you put what you put before that, after that. So you want to really look at what is that I am. That's the first thought of contemplation of expanding who you are and what you are in this universe. But I am, everything that we put down here is I am understanding. Is when I need to do my self-care, I get understanding. I get overstanding of whatever I'm into or need to accomplish. I get an understanding of that so I can obtain that. The other ones, in self-care, I'm going to devote myself to my self-care and whatever I need to get to my self-care. You know, you know, then I am, and enforcing the self-care, I am going to always ask myself, what do I really need? And go with that intuitive feeling that makes me feel good. You know, in self-care, the I am is the intention of the wellness that you want to presume out of your beingness. You set your intentions for everyone to be well. Just and that just pours out your system. So then wherever you go, but you pouring out your system, people picking that up and they want to be well. They want to be happy. So I am. When I'm dealing with self-care, I am intuitionally guided. I let my intuition guide me in my self-care. Whatever plan of action I'm going to use for my self-care, I'm gonna let my intuition guide me and I'm gonna go for it with all there is. Like what they say, put the pedal to the metal. You go for it. I am with within my self-awareness, within my self-care. I bring them the old things that I went through, the old emotions I sort through. In other words, I reflect. I reflect, and I do emotional check before I lay myself to go to sleep. Before I wake up, I do this process. You know, I do a brain double. I do a scope of how it's going to look, and then the end, I look at it and say it went like this, and I'm cool with that. Those are self care. These are self care things. The last one, dealing with self care. I am a note taker, and I weigh the pros and cons of it. I want to see the statistics. That's when you become that that researcher. That I don't know if we ever talked about the four personalities: the whale, the shark, the orchid, and the dolphin. But this is when on Toki taking notes of your pros and cons. This is when you be that orchid, and that orchid is that kind of person that take that got all the details, know everything about what needs to be doing, and know the way how to find out things. That's that orchid personality, you know. And that was that last one in the note, in the pros and cons. You want to be that orchid personality, and the other personalities is the shark. The shark is the person that's go getter. He's the lawyer. He's the aggressive police officer. You know, and then the other personality is the whale. The whale is the humanitarian. See the bigger picture. That's understand the large scheme of things. And then the other one is the dolphin. And the dolphin is the girl is carefree. Let's have fun. Let's joyful. You know, and oftentimes we need to balance ourselves within these personalities and within these kind of animals. Where they don't have, you can say what you want to say what they are, but these certain personality traits that we want to balance ourselves within that, and also
Ray?
yes, I'm going too far. Let me stop me.
No,
I'm
no, I
talking.
just want to interject something here is that if I broke it down to two words, just two, I would say that I am a spiritual scientist.
There you go. That's right. You are.
I'm
Well,
a
we are.
spiritual scientist because I'm going to continue to listen to others, learn through others, research, look at the information, and discern from all that I have gathered so far.
Right. Scientist.
Excuse me. In different cultures, we have different animals. In indigenous cultures, we have different animals. And it was how our ancestors were able to analyze behavior and energy by comparing us to animals and or nature. Are you like a wood? Are you like a tree? Are you like a sparrow? Are you like an eagle? Are you like a dolphin? Are you
And this
like
we
the
we
and
can all agree upon that. We can all agree upon that.
yeah,
And
and so
it's getting kind of late, and that's why I start pushing it. People are pushing it, and
excuse me,
I'm
sorry.
trying to close out. I'm really trying to close out,
Okay, so
and
I
then
just want to say
as I close out, it's gonna be a free for all because I think this is the last slide right here. This last slide, but I want to
okay,
finish
so
my
I just
train of
wanted to
thought
say
where I was going. I never came to the conclusion. So, in essence, in connecting the dots conscious community, we're connecting the dots that all these different aspects that each one of us said that we were doing for self-care, understanding, overstanding, devotion, going within and asking questions, choice and responsibility, intuition, intention for wellness, intuition guide, go for it, brain dumping, reflection, emotional check, and notes. And then Merlin just said that all that constitutes of a spiritual scientist and an alchemist as well. I my first when I became awakened, I consider myself a mental alchemist. Why I consider myself a mental alchemist? Because I mentally alchemize my mentality, and everyone can do that. And it's all about reprogramming yourself.
Mhm.
And the key is what I said in the beginning. is what got me is by getting in that mirror and looking at myself and honestly and truly saying I love myself. I'm divine. I'm fearless. Any kind of thing, aspects that I want to bring about myself, I make that happen. And you can do that too in all kind of ways. And I just want to share that with us in this group here because in connecting the dots, we are all those things that we are saying that we're self-care about. And moving to the next slide, I would like at this time uh ask Merlin to continue that thought process which you were speaking about, and then conclude with reading what is simulation. If you can do that, or I can read it for you. If it's too small, I can read it.
I can read it.
Okay, all right. Finish that thought which you was here, and then we can go over into this next slide.
Well, I was just saying that the analogies that we've gotten from our ancestors were their way of comparing us and our journeys. So they were scientists in their own ways, and they were spiritual. So that's why I say I'm a spiritual scientist. If you'd like me to read what is simulation, I can do that.
Read what is simulation.
Okay. Simulated reality is the hypothesis that reality could be simulated. For example, by quantum computer simulation to a degree that is indistinguishable from true reality. It could contain conscious minds that may or may not know that they live inside a simulation. This is quite different from the current technologically concept of virtual reality. Virtual reality is easily distinguished from the experience of actuality. Participants are never in doubt about the nature of what they experience. Simulated reality, by contrast, would be hard or impossible to separate from true reality. There has been much debate over this topic, ranging from philosophical discourse to practical applications in computing.
Okay. Okay. Now, like I was saying, that this is a collection of stuff that we went through throughout the year. Do anybody remember this slide? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
You remember, Marilyn?
yes.
Okay. No,
I do. I remember it.
you remember? Okay. So to the new ones, the new people who are looking at this. What is this? We love you, Sakari. I know you are at sea in the time frame. So you got to go to sleep. So bless
Have a
you.
good
Lord.
day,
Good
rest.
night, dear blessed
Thank you for
Sakari.
coming in.
Night.
Good night.
Good
Night.
night. I'm trying to hang, but my hair's dropping.
So say
Aw.
I want to ask someone, Martha, what do you think about what she just read? First off, I want to see, what do you think about what she just first read to you?
Ray,
Yes.
I believe she's gone.
Oh, she left. Oh my God.
Yeah, she did.
Yes, she did. Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully there's nothing. I hope I ain't lose safe and you think I embarrassed
You
her.
didn't say anything.
Okay. All right.
Ray, you never have to apologize for being so beautiful.
Ah!
Whoa! I gotta ring the bell on that one.
Ring the bell on that one.
That's
That
right.
was beautiful right there.
Yeah,
That's
that's right.
All right. All right.
So-
Okay then. Okay, let me see. So right. Delisha and Marilyn and Tamika, y'all remember this slide here. All right, to everyone else, from what they read, what do you get? What is your take? What is it? What steps out at you? What kind of steps out at you first from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, six paragraph sentences rather? Anybody other than the ones who remember the slide?
What comes out to me is like when I think of a simulation, I think of like the media.
Media.
Yeah. Just like different media narratives, you know?
I can see
That's
that.
really what I think of a simulation.
Because they're
Huh?
creating these realities that may or may not be true, and then we buy into them or we don't. You know, I've never
Exactly.
thought of it that way. But thank you for that. That's yeah.
Different realities that we buy into.
And
Right.
mutually buy into. It's like, yeah, did you hear about that on the news? So what's going on? It's like, have either of us been there and looked at it? Well, not really. That's it.
You know what? I want to comment on that. What you said on people buying into the simulated reality. Let me see. Um, this is a good kind of explanation. Uh, humans, we're social beings. You know that. We love to be in society, like to be around people, like to be accepted, like that. And they did an experiment when they had try to see how they can persuade people. They did an experiment that they had maybe 5 people in there, 5 people in the room, and 4 of the people knew had a different alternative. They was gonna show these people in this room certain pictures of certain things, and then they're gonna explain what they see. And certain ones would be like one line is up and one line is down, and everyone say how many is like 4 or 5 of them. Like it's like 5 sticks sticking out. The second stick is the longest, but then some of the people was in there to try to trick the guy and say that, well, the 7th stick is the longest, but obviously the guy see that the second stick is the longest. That they did the experiment that people started leaving off what they see before their eyes and going on with the crowd say. Think about that. That's a weird ass. That's weird. That's That's a drone. That's a puppet. That's
Wouldn't
a
that be
yes man.
just wouldn't that be just considered not having enough self-trust?
That's it. But what is it saying to me is that the human experience needs some help.
It
Something.
see the way I see the simulation, it's almost as if we're raised in a simulated world as children, right? Our parents are the ones who have this idea of what the world is like, and they're the
Right.
ones giving it to us. So
There
therefore,
you go.
we're coming out of a simulated world, which is a world that was created by someone else, by 2 other caretakers who have their own perceptions, their own experiences, their own ideas of who they are, what they are, how they came about to be, why they came about to be. And so I feel like the simulated world that they're speaking of is not based on technology, but it's based on the information that was given to us by these 2 other people at a specific moment in our lives. And I think the simulation comes in when it was truly ingrained, not just in our subconscious, but also ingrained in our entire being. It's almost like Yoda. Yoda would say something like, instead of saying, I am happy, he would say, happy, I am.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that he would understand happy first, and then he can relate to it. Unless you understand what it is first, you're just going along with the crowd.
Thank
And
you.
so I feel like this idea of simulated world is more of a world that was given to us, and we have to break free from it.
Oh, Lotus,
I love it. I
so
really love that.
that was a home run,
Yeah, that was.
especially when you brought the scenario about Yoda. Happy I am. I can dig that.
Yeah.
I remember him saying that in the movie, and I remember seeing it. I said, "Damn, that's profound," and it is.
And I feel like I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I feel like I yet cannot relate to the idea of I am, because this idea of I am is based on what was given to me. I'm still finding out who I am. But if you say, if you say scary, no, I don't think I can relate with that. And I don't think I can say I am. So I don't have to. But if you say compassionate, yeah, there you go. Compassionate I am. So it feels more truthful to self, at least for myself. It feels more truthful to put the explanation before me having to say whether or not I agree with it. And I think the simulation is what happens is that when you don't know what you're agreeing to, you're just going to go about and agree with it. But if you know what you're agreeing to, based on what they're actually giving you the information beforehand, before you agree to it, then you could make the choice to be like, no, I don't think I'm going to go with that. Or yeah, I think I can go with that. And so it gives you room for expansion, and it gives you room to move, and it gives you room not to put yourself in a box. I feel like that idea of I am something puts you in a box. But if I were to say, compassionate, I am, now I'm not just compassionate. I could be many other things besides that one specific thing.
What y'all think?
Wow.
The
Yeah.
bell
love
ringer,
it.
y'all. I
Yeah.
like that explanation. I can dig that.
Yeah, I like it. I really do. Very.
So,
That's interesting.
anybody else want to comment on this one? Because we're not gonna watch the video right now.
No, it's too long. The only thing I'll say before you go to the next slide is that, I think if we're participating a lot on social media platforms, be it Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Zoom calls such as this, or if you're a person that meets a lot of people online, I think it's another form of a simulated reality, because you're not really getting to know that person one-on-one. You're just really seeing a facet of them, through a platform where they're making comments or interacting with you. And even on things such as Zoom, a lot of times people present themselves one way, and then you shut down the Zoom and you got somebody else. And so you're not really getting the true reality of people online. So I feel like you start thinking you have these friendships with people that you've been connected to, and we have this great conversation even on the phone. And I feel like it's and then when it falls apart, it hurts as if the person you knew them personally face to face. So that's where I'm at with simulated reality, because I don't play video games. Good night, Sheila. Thank you
Night,
for
Sheila.
Good night.
So that's what I have to say. That's it.
And here we go. Ways to remember and honor our ancestors. How do you remember and honor your ancestors? That's a question. Anybody want to answer that question? That's another technique.
Well, Ray,
Yeah.
Delicia knows this, and I stayed up myself as long as I could. I got my second vaccination today,
Yeah.
and I'm starting to go. I'm
She-
starting
she-
to go down.
You getting sheepy?
I did.
Take that time.
I lasted.
You did.
But
You did good.
I'm
You did. You really did. And I'm glad you're okay. And I hope you feel,
I did everything I could to be here. So
I appreciate it so
I'm
much.
just a little weary. And what's happening is it's taking me a lot of energy just to focus and even listen. And I love you. I appreciate you.
Love you.
And you are my you are my family.
Hmm.
Before you go, Merlin,
Yes, dear.
I need you to comment on your slide. We got a slide of yours in here.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Which one is it, baby?
It's
Before you
after
go, please, we're gonna read your slide.
about your call and purpose and what's the purpose of life and what are you here to do. It's next to the last.
oh,
That.
Yeah, that's it.
You remember this?
This is, yeah, that's Maryland.
yeah.
Okay. Would you like to give us a teaching about this slide?
Well, the one I see is what do you want to learn and or teach from your life sojourn on Earth? What is the purpose of life through the lens of your perception of reality? And personally, I am not sure. I'm not really sure what reality is. I am not really sure what this dimension is. I am not sure of a lot of things right now. I know I'm experiencing something. I don't know if I'm in a matrix. I don't, I have, okay, I have a cousin who's making his transition very soon. And the door between the two worlds is open. So what's happening is I'm getting a lot of um, communication with those who have passed on before us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very thin door.
Veil.
It's like a Japanese house, veil,
Yeah.
door. Um, so right now, I'm going through again, which I do, inventory, self assessment, what is real, what isn't. I'm doing a cleansing. I'm doing a lot right now. And I don't know a lot. I know a little bit about the universe. I'm in a body. It's got a brain. It only uses so much capacity. I believe that we're connected to the unlimited, but I don't feel that I am it consciously aware of the omnipotence of whatever this is. So right now, it's a big question mark. But what I do want to get out of this life sojourn is I want to be the better me, to be better equipped to be of service to my brothers and sisters, the planet, my grandkids. I just want to be a better me, not compared to anybody else. And I feel that I'm doing that on a daily basis.
Mm,
Yes, you are.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
No,
No.
and you know, I want to say this before you go, Marilyn, that I'm just so glad you said that you don't know. And you realize when you're at this point where these veils, you know, you're seeing how thin these, you know, shifting from one to the other is. And even all that you know, you still don't know all that there really is. And thank you for saying that because I think my quest now has become, from based on what you just said, for me, is to focus on self-care and my art and my sacred work and not get caught up into trying to figure out all of the other things because when the times comes I know that I will that door will open for me to feel it, to experience it. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. That was really profound to me.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. And when I say I appreciate you, I know that you can feel it because I'm sending it to you in a manner so it's going through and not just through your bodies, but it's attaching to your molecules, your atoms, your aura, because I do appreciate you at that kind of a level, at the deepest possible spiritual scientific level that I can possibly create. Um, that's what I do. And I really, I'm going to start crying. I need to go rest. I love you.
I love you. I love you.
Thank you,
I
Marilyn.
love you, Lotus.
Love you.
Oh, I
Bless
love
you,
you
dear.
too. Thank
And
you. Thank you.
Tamika,
Thank you.
David, Delicia,
Yes.
mi corazón y mi alma.
Yes.
So
Mm,
I bid you fair night.
yes.
Right.
I
Peace
love
and
you.
hourly blessings.
Thank
Always.
Yes.
you.
Oh, I'll
I
wait.
love you.
Authentic.
I love you.
Okay.
Very, very
You.
authentic.
Somebody else
Right off.
answer those two questions.
Ooh.
Who would like to take those two questions? What do you want to learn and or teach from your life soul journey on earth? What is your purpose of life through the lens of your perception of reality? One at a time. You can answer one of them. Come on, everybody. Let's talk about at least one of them.
Ooh, notice their smile so
Let's
beautiful.
see.
I want to hear what you're gonna say.
Oh, you know, I would say at this point in my life, just to, I wouldn't even say to know it, to feel this idea of happiness.
Mm. Wow. Well, I'm looking at you and I swear you look like a goddess. Yeah, and you are a
Mm.
goddess in form. And I'm looking at your smile. I swear, I'm not just saying this. And it is so illuminating and beautiful. And even if for this moment, you've brought a smile and happiness to me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's just
Y'all gonna make me cry.
I mean, it's
Where's
that.
my Kleenex?
I would say it's that
Look at
simple.
you.
Yeah, I would have to say it's that. I mean, it comes down to just being that, just simple, like this idea of happiness. That it's so like for me, the like love. I could hardly even conceptualize that. I I
Hmm.
I can receive it, but my capacity is limited simply because of how it was used towards me. And so I have a misconception of it. I have not yet completely uh, believed that I've experienced it by giving it to myself. I think once that occurs more, I'll definitely understand the deeper meaning of it. But in the process of it, you have to have some type of joy and happiness while you're in the process of it. And so I feel like it's being able to just be joyful in the process of learning this idea or these ideas or conceptions that have been brought about, that we're supposed to carry with us as humans, right?
Thank
So
you
I
for
think
that. It's so real though. That is so real. Thank you.
and both of you are part of that.
Hey,
Because
Oh,
you
you're
guys are
so
really,
cute.
you guys are
hey.
authentic. You guys are authentic, and that's the thing. It's that it's difficult to find authenticity because it's very painful to be authentic. Because to be authentic, you have to truly have to be able to have looked at yourself in a very deep, honest, undeniable manner.
Yeah.
That's right.
And when someone says I love you and it's authentic, you feel it,
Feel it.
you question it, you wonder why it's coming. But anytime I've heard it from you, Delisha, or from you, Ray, it's always been there's no question about it. There's no reason to fear it. There's no reason to hide from it. There's no reason to sit back and be like, do you really though? Do you really? Why? And I can
Whoa,
say
Lord,
that.
you said,
You know,
Lotus said, you got it. There's something's wrong.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And the
That's-
reason why I say it is because in conversations, you're authentic. You're not hiding yourself from being afraid to say something and what would people would say if I say this, or like, how we started talking today and all of a sudden you're like, they thought that I wanted to be a guy, right? And it was just so authentic. So I know that if you're able to place yourself in situations where you will be pointed at in a certain manner and you're still putting yourself out there, then when you say I love you, I know that it's authentic.
Wow.
I know that it's real. I know that it's really, it is. And so I can truly say that from my experience, how you both have showed me that it's authentic and I welcome it. I don't question it. I embrace it. And I'm better because of it.
We love you, Lotus.
Mm.
Ooh. I'm I can't even speak.
Well, moving to the
Pride
next
party.
Oh God. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, okay. Oh, you're on to the next slide, Ray.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, group, we're kind of going kind of quick tonight because I did not plan to be on this long. I thought I was going to get through it pretty quick because I needed to have another call. So don't be mad at me.
Another call?
What? We're not the only ones tonight.
No.
Look, I want to know who the hell is he talking about. So how about that?
Who's he talking who are you talking about?
Like, right? Who are you talking about? I don't know about this.
Really,
I'm just
I
kidding,
need.
David.
I promised Martha I was going to call her back and do some strategizing with her to help her look for a brother.
Okay.
She's out here.
Okay, no problem.
That's one,
No worries.
No, but we're gonna continue through. I just skipped a couple of them because tomorrow I can't, I don't want to talk to her tomorrow because I got a lot of other stuff I got to be doing. I can't even go nowhere tomorrow. Or I may, because yeah, I'm trying to. Baby's teaching me a little bit better about how to manage my time management with things, because she's the organizer.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're pushing forward. But I did skip a couple.
That's okay because of the time. But that's the last slide, though, right?
Yeah, we did go into the ancestors, honor the ancestors.
That's okay. Let's just do the last slide so we can wrap it up. Let's do the last slide.
But I can leave you guys with this one, okay? Snapshot 4. How do you express yourself with words? Use the following words to form a paragraph. You must use each of the words below to form your paragraph. You can use the words in any order that you see. Ritual, self-mastery, discipline, results achievable. Now, the practice is, as on this paper, was use these words. You don't have to, but if you want to, do it. Use these words. But I want you, at home and do this like 3 times. Pick 5 words 3 times. It can be random words or they can all kind of come together, but pick 5 words and then write a sentence, a paragraph using each word, and make sure that next sentence continuate with that next word you're going to use. You know, it can be poetic like or whatever. This is a poetry exercise that I love, and you make some pretty uh soundful poems when you do this. When you pick it the right words and you form it, it sounds very poetic. You know, so I want to share that technique with you guys.
Yeah.
Like that.
Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny.
Mm.
So all from thoughts.
Awesome
Mm.
thoughts.
All
Yeah.
from thoughts.
Yeah.
All from thoughts.
Thank you very much. We love and appreciate you all. Sorry about the abrupt stop.
But I want to read the last two little things on here because that
Yes.
was the point. It says, "Dear past, thank you for your lessons. Dear future, I'm ready."
Mm.
And there
And
you go.
go ahead.
Do something today that your future self will thank you for.
Yes,
So try to figure that out and what that would look like and do it. You know? Yeah.
Hey, just self-care alone will do it.
that's right.
Self-care alone. Thank you guys. Thank you,
Thank you guys.
Tamika,
Mm.
Lotus,
Thank
and
Thank
David.
you.
You guys for hanging in there and being here again. And we
Oh, yes.
continue. We'll come back together again on June 3rd. And
June
then
3rd.
yeah, and then June 24th. So just FYI.
Okay. I'm
And
going to contact you tomorrow.
yes, contact me tomorrow, anytime after 11 for me. And I don't know if you guys are still planning to go to Havila's book discussion, but it's on Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And as far as I
Yeah, we
know,
gotta
next
show up and
Thursday.
show off for Havana.
Yeah.
She come through our community. Let's show up and show off for her.
Okay.
And so yeah, so that's it. And of course we'll be in touch. And so on the 3rd, I guess Tamika, you're gonna do on the 3rd.
It'll give me more time, and I can find some slides. I mean,
Okay.
I have it all written out what I want to talk about, but I just trying to find slides.
That's
What
okay. Okay, the 3rd. So
send it over and I'll
I'll
look
help you
for
with
it.
the PowerPoint. I'll help you with the PowerPoint if you want. If you just bring the content, I can put them in here
Okay,
for
that'd be
you.
great.
Yeah. So yeah. So just okay. So June 3rd, you guys. Tamika's going to talk about some powerful things that's going to make you scratch your head. So come with your joint, your wine, whatever, tea, tonic. You know, go
Your
ahead.
wine and your cheese.
Right, because this is going to be a, it's not going to be, it may not be cute, but it's going to be an acute conversation.
Hey, Tamika, do you have a highlight topic that I can say, or you can just say no and I just do it later? Because I want to kind of like um, I want to publicize it like on that Monday of that week or that
It's
Tuesday.
it's actually a couple of things. It's really about
Send me a paragraph of explaining what it's about, and I'm gonna form something.
okay.
So I can get it. I want to try to get some of some of my old connecting the dots who used to come, but because since we're coming back in this time gap, I just want that when we do have a meeting, I want it to be a lot of us there. That's all.
I'll invite my girlfriend too, a couple of girlfriends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's, yep. And the sooner the better. So that way everybody's like, yes, I can do it. And they'll be here.
Mhm.
Okay. Good.